And we are back. Welcome back to Senior Forum again. I'm your host, Dana Kohler. So glad you could join us this morning. Now, today we're talking about money. And you know, you work all your life, you put some money away, and now you maybe want to invest that money. Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, so it's good to have somebody who can be reliable, trusted, and know what they're doing to help you set up your financial plan. And to talk about that today is my guest, Tim Stesanolias, and he is with Aegis Wealth Advisors. Tim, again, it's so good to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Dana.
It's been quite a while since we've had you here. So, especially now with the market. I mean, the market's up, down. I mean, people are getting so confused and scared of what's going on out there. So people who are looking to do some investing, you had talked about being certified in this.
Correct.
And there's a lot of people out there that say they are, but maybe not necessarily so. What should a senior look for when, like, say, try to go out and find somebody to help them invest their money?
Well, our belief is that the way we're set up as a fee-only advisor, again, it's a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interest of the client. It's a little different than if somebody were to design a plan based on your age or risk tolerance level about how you feel about investing in the market. That's really called more suitability. That is part of a plan. It's a very important part of the plan, but then how is it implemented? And our point is that you need to be with somebody that's not going to have an axe to grind or not going to have a special relationship per se with any one company. It has to be really derived from the need of the client. So, case in point, if you go to a particular company, and I won't mention names, they're usually going to recommend an XYZ plan that's going to have a lot of proprietary funds in it. It's going to have some variable annuities in it usually. And again, you know how I feel as far as the certification of background and things. I think the biggest thing is you need to look at the level of experience, how long they've been in the business, how they're set up to be able to deliver that expertise. Are they independent? Or if they're not independent, how are they compensated? Those questions have to be asked. Sure. That's kind of glossed over.
What their track record is, right?
Well, track record, there's a way to do a background check through if they're insurance licensed, you can do a background check with the Office of the Insurance Commissioner here in Wisconsin and Madison. You can also do a background check, what they call it a broker check, with finra.org, which is FINRA.org. You can go online, punch in the name of the advisor, and it'll give you a full background check. That's very important. The other thing to look at is the different courses and things that they've taken. If they have, again, certified senior advisor on their card, while that's a good and valid course to take, it's a bit of a misnomer, if you will, because again, taking a 3-day course and getting that education does not make somebody any better than anybody else in dealing with seniors. It adds a level of background and education. But if the guy has a week in the business versus 19 years of my expertise, and he has CSA and I don't, obviously I would argue that I'm going to be more qualified than they are.
Right. And and the thing is, the fact that you have 19 years in, if you weren't good at what you do,
right,
people didn't trust you as an advisor, you wouldn't have 19 years in.
Correct.
Yeah, because
correct.
In that 19 years you had to eat, right? So
and you have to be committed to the business for the right reasons. Obviously, you need to be focused on getting better on a daily basis. We take lots and lots of CE credits throughout the year, just to keep me focused and keep me honed and keep me on top of the various changes. This market now that we're in is a completely different market than we were in even 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Sure. Okay. Now, a lot of my seniors out there, or maybe even their kids, because a lot of the baby boomers watch this program, they may have never invested before.
Right.
So, but they have some money and they would like to invest, they would like to secure their future.
Sure.
How do they go about this? Let's say they come up to you and they say, I watch you on the show and I'd like for you to manage my money.
Yeah.
How do I get started?
Well, again, we typically have an in-office meeting. We do a lot of workshops out there right now. We do educational workshops. At the close of my meeting, I offer a complimentary meeting to anybody that would like to understand how we do business and whether or not we can help them or not. So that would be the same offer that I would have for anybody that would be watching the show and called us up and said, you know, I saw you in the show and I want an analysis of what I'm currently doing. And that's really what we do. We do a second opinion. They come into the office, they bring in their statements, they bring in anything that is relevant to the situation, 401ks. If they invest in annuities, bring the annual statement in, their insurance policies, their estate planning documents, whether it's a living trust or a will or power of attorneys, bring all that stuff in. A tax return is very helpful. We take all of that in. It's an exploratory meeting. We'll do an analysis, ask a lot of questions, get real comfortable with them, and then get some idea of what their goals are going forward and what their experiences have been in the market. If they haven't had any experience in the market, then obviously we're going to be able to recommend other things based on that level of expertise or a comfort level that they have.
Right.
You saw this program last week on Dateline, and they did this undercover thing on, on scary sales tactics of some of these insurance agents out there that are doing fixed annuities. And I have nothing. I find nothing wrong with using a fixed annuity in the right context in the right place. The difference is that we don't do an in-home appointment. So again, you need to be aware of somebody really coming in, because really, are they operating out of the back seat of their car? Why are they in your home? Why can't you go to their office like you would a doctor or any other professional? You're going to go to their office. I think it's going to add a little bit of more credibility. The Dateline study, while it was to really inform people about the dangers of these what they call fixed index annuities, some of those aren't that bad of a product. They actually can fit the right profile for some clients that really are afraid of the market and are concerned about losing money. But it really has to be explained in detail. You have to explain all of those surrender charges, because there is a level of commitment that a client has to make to those, whether it's 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years. If you go beyond a 10-year contract, you're really asking for trouble. Yeah. And if you get these 10% bonus products out there too, you know what? There's no such thing as a free lunch, of course, unless you come to one of my workshops and you get a free lunch.
Okay. Well, listen, we'll talk some more with Tim about his free lunch when we come back. But right now we're going to go take a break. So listen, don't go away, because we still have some more Senior Forum.